Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about huge Bitcoin and crypto news, including what to look forward to with Bitcoin and what to look forward to with Shib and Wendy's and Polygon and Robinhood and more. So there's a lot of news that came out today, so let's talk about all of it. So let's get started. Welcome, guys. Right now, Bitcoin is still around the same point as this morning, 23.5. The U.S. market really does not know where to go. Investors, Wall Street, fund managers, everyone's kind of like guessing. Everyone's trying to figure out or waiting for someone else to make the move. I mean, really, it's just not going anywhere. So you can see today, Dow barely in the green, S&P, NASDAQ a little bit down, right? Tomorrow also kind of like mixed. No one knows what the hell to do. But you used to have good earnings and you used to have bad earnings. Well, today Tesla didn't do any earnings, but they did have Investor Day. And I was listening to parts of it. Some of it sounded really good. Unfortunately, it's all kind of theoretical. Like the one part I was watching was when they talked about how difficult it is to assemble a Model Y or just cars in general, and how they want to break it up so that you can assemble a Tesla with different teams and then you just assemble it once rather than assembling and disassembling like a million times. But they said, well, that's on a future Tesla car. They made no indication that they were going to upgrade the assembly line for Model Y or the S or the X or the 3 to make it that efficient. They're like, okay, that's going to be the future, right? So that's one example. And it went on and on and on and on. A lot of theoretical stuff. And that is why people decided to dump them almost 6% in the aftermarket, right? So, yeah, the market's still very unforgiving right now. People don't know what to think. Is this the time to be grabbing equities and high flyer tech stocks like Tesla, or is this the time to be conservative and buy bonds? I would argue it's never time to buy bonds, okay? When it comes to myself, I would never, ever, ever buy bonds. But Treasury yields are skyrocketing once again. I mean, so obviously a lot of people disagree with that sentiment, but I mean, that's just how it is. Now, OpenAI does launch their API for ChatGPT. You guys know ChatGPT by now, right? This is for enterprise customers, and a lot of big enterprises want to tap into this AI because it's going to make shopping experience a whole lot easier. Now, this is the reason why some of the AI plays, the AI crypto plays like Singularity and stuff went up today because of this. This is not going to go away. We are just at the forefront of what AI could do for us, okay? So we're just getting started. But this is the reason why some of the AI plays started going up again. But with all that said, what about Bitcoin, right? What's this big Bitcoin news? Well, the accumulation rate right now exceeds a 2018 bear market. Think about that. Think about that and take a look at this, okay? So you basically have a whole bunch of levels, okay, and a total basically accumulation for each one of these time periods. And when you add it all up, there's more accumulation now than the last bear market. And keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, right? It kind of makes sense and it kind of doesn't, but overall what this shows is that there are a lot more holders holding and not giving up, right? And just keeps DCA and accumulating, right? That's basically what this is saying to me. And it makes sense with all the shenanigans, the macro stuff I've been talking about, right? But outside of that, people also know we started a new year. We're coming up from bottom. We're getting closer to the next halving event, right? All of these things added together mean good things are coming for Bitcoin. Here's another one, HODL wave. And this is showing 67% of Bitcoin has not moved in one single year. Highest percentage ever in Bitcoin's history. Okay? At no time in Bitcoin's history have we seen a higher percentage of Bitcoin not move for at least 1 year. Think about that. Again, this relates to what I just talked about in terms of accumulation and holders and the growing number of Bitcoin leaving exchanges and sitting in people's wallets just being hodled. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome, right? So better days are coming. Right now, there's still a little bit of volatility, right? But you got to zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. And also look at this. If you're questioning, right? If you're questioning what's going to happen with Bitcoin, look at this. Since 2011, we have, it's a short time frame. It's not like over 100 years. Bitcoin is still relatively new. But you can see with the last 2 cycles, what are the similarities? Okay, this is one of those IQ test questions to make you identify the pattern. What do you see? It's very simple. It's very simple. You have 3 green candlesticks, 3 good years, then you have a down year. Then you have 3 good years, then you have a down year. And then you have 3 good years, then you have a down year. So what's happening now? Well, we're starting that first good year. And then we're going to have another good year in 2024 because that's the halving event. And then we're going to have a parabolic year in 2025, right? And then we'll probably have a red year in 2026. But everything is moving according to schedule. Nothing has changed, despite the fact that we're still iffy with the macro stuff, like I've been saying, right? Things are still moving according to plan. Yes. And here's a nice macro chart from Bob Lucas, one of the guys I came across in 2017, 2018, a respectable TA guy, and he kind of sums it up here. Imagine being scared, worried after looking at this Bitcoin monthly chart. And why is this a good chart? Well, I mean, just look at it. Look at the bottoms. Whenever Bitcoin started flipping above, that was when you see that crossover on the bottom, right? Obviously crossing over to the top. But also what's important is this. And you could see this line the very first time when Bitcoin hit like $1,200. After it broke that, well, guess what happened? Great things happened, right? And you can make the same argument about that 35 point, which was when Bitcoin hit 20,000. Guess what? We just broke above that. Kind of like before, with the crossover upwards, right? So again, on a monthly scale, Bitcoin's looking pretty darn healthy as well, right? So all good. All good stuff. And lastly, here's one kind of like a multiple band, basically. And again, just look at this is pretty accurate. Look at 2011, 2015, 2019, right? 2020, every time Bitcoin dipped to the very, very, very undervalued, in this case, the black line, heavy undervalued point, Bitcoin comes back with a vengeance, right? Has happened every single time, and we hit that mark when we hit 15,000, and now we are recovering back up. So stay strong, my friends. Better days are coming. And right now we have history on our side. And of course, we have the holders on our side. We have massive accumulation, and supply is about to be cut in half, at least a daily issuance, next year. It's all coming together. Okay? So awesome stuff. And let's not forget innovation too. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Block, aka Square, he teased his self-custody Bitcoin wallet. He's been talking about this for a long time. He wants to make Block basically into a blockchain company. And this is his first attempt at doing so. Basically, he's going to allow merchants to accept crypto, right? Mainly Bitcoin. And he's already implemented Lightning Network on the Cash App, right? But now he wants to create a Bitcoin wallet for everyone to use and for merchants to use. So he's slowly getting there, right? This is not out yet. He's just teasing it, but he's slowly building up what he's promised over the years, and that is fantastic. Fantastic stuff. All right, now, what else is there? Well, what about some of the other breaking news? Well, let's talk about this one. Robinhood finally launches their self-custody wallet. A lot of people have asked me about Robinhood. How do you feel about Robinhood? You know, when it comes to centralized exchanges, there's no comparison when it comes to your keys or not your keys, right? Self-custody wallet, of course, is much better, right? And now Robinhood allows you to withdraw and put it into your own self-custody wallet. Now, this has been in testnet, I don't know, beta testing. It was an invite only, whatever. Right now, it's out, but only for iOS, not for Android. I'm still sick of developers and companies coming out with iOS only. Do they not realize worldwide there's more Android users than Apple users? Yet Apple still gets the priority. That really ticks me off. Anyways, so this is out, and not only does it support Ethereum, and it also supports Polygon and Shib. Now, it's been highly, highly rumored that Shib will be integrated with Robinhood, right, for quite some time, and now it's here. So Shib fans can rejoice. You can now self-custody your Shib in this Robinhood wallet. Okay, so that's the big thing. No waitlist, no invitation code. It's already out globally, right? So technically, I haven't tested it yet, but technically, you don't have to be using Robinhood. It's just a self-custody wallet. You should be able to just use it to store if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of other better choices, I would say, like Trust Wallet comes to mind. But still, if you wanted to use this, kind of like Coinbase Wallet, people don't realize Coinbase Wallet is a self-custody wallet. It has nothing to do with Coinbase, really. There is a connection, but you could use it outside of being a Coinbase customer. I'm assuming this is the same thing. But anyways, that's good overall, right? And of course, Polygon, you guys know, they're doing a lot of stuff with ZK. They're trying to come out with ZK EVM pretty soon. It's in testnet, mainnet coming up. But they're also doing ZK privacy enhanced identification product. So they're doing an ID service, right, where you can basically verify who you are, your age, your essential information without actually giving it. The system will actually just verify whether or not it's true. Interesting. I don't know how widely used it will become, but still, interesting stuff. Polygon is really going all out with ZK stuff. That is definitely the new trend. But as for Shib, okay, besides this wallet from Robinhood, Shib is now accepted at Wendy's. That's why I put it on a thumbnail. So if you wanted to, you could spend Shib at Wendy's and buy a Baconator or whatever burger, a Dave's Double or Dave's Triple. But not only that, you could spend it at 600 other businesses. This is possible because of Binance and Binance Pay and another crypto payment gateway called CityPay. Basically, the two allows users to spend Shib at 600 different hotels, restaurants, supermarkets. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This is only, by the way, in the state of Georgia. I just realized. I thought it's like countrywide, but no, it's only in Georgia. But we know Georgia is the capital of the U.S. So, no, I'm just kidding. But it's a start. It's a start. Okay. But you know, as time goes on, we're going to have more and more announcements like this. There will be more payment gateways, payment apps, okay, financial apps that will allow users to spend crypto anywhere they wanted to, right? So, good stuff. Good stuff. Now, something else, another project not a whole lot of people talk about or pay attention to, and they actually got a boost today from Robinhood, is 0x. 0x actually jumped up about 20% today because of this, because they're trying to help the Robinhood wallet, right, be able to do swaps between these two different networks, Polygon and Ethereum and Shiba. Well, Shiba is ERC20, so it's Ethereum, but Polygon and Ethereum, right? That is what 0x is really all about. They're a liquidity aggregator and a DEX protocol. So they actually are involved with quite a lot of different projects. They're just kind of behind the scenes, but they are also involved with this. They help a lot of DEXs, you know, do swaps and stuff like that, right? But they also, you know, they're NFTs. They raised $70 million last year from OpenSea and Jared Leto, but they're also the ones powering Coinbase's NFTs. Interesting, right? So they got a boost. Not a whole lot of people pay attention to them. I've heard of them from years ago. I don't really hear about them now because they're just kind of behind the scenes, but they're still operating. And they got a little boost from today's Robinhood announcement. So good for them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I say today is kind of a neutral day. Overall crypto market cap is up slightly, but right now I know it's kind of hovering, you know, going sideways, right? US market is kind of like undecided. But like I said, great things are being worked on. Greater days will be coming, right? So stay strong. Stay strong. All right. Vegeta, is she even in crypto? Lastly, it is DCA day. I think it's Wednesday night, right? Wednesday night, start of March. Unfortunately, my portfolio went down from last week because last week I believe we're above 24,000 or a little bit under 24,000. So last week performance unfortunately went down about 6.5%. But for the month, we're still up 4%, and for 3 months, still up 48%, right? Things move very quickly, but overall, it's been a year and a half, okay, year and a half, down 31%. I know some of you guys, you're like, well, this sucks, right? But this is coming off from bottom at like negative 60%, and we were at negative 24% last week, so it's just a matter of time. This is go back to zero and then start turning green, right? I'm going to keep doing this every Wednesday night to show you the power of DCA. No guessing, no trading, no headaches. You guys that have been watching me, you know, I put $100 in every single Wednesday, right? That's it. Not studying charts, nothing like that. Just kind of looking at projects that have interesting developments, ones that are either oversold or ones that have interesting stuff happening. I've been eyeing stacks. I know I've been talking a lot about stacks, and they have pumped up quite a lot, so that makes me hesitant about getting into stacks. But because of all the news right now with Bitcoin ordinals, right, with DeFi possibly, and just dApps on top of Bitcoin, right, it makes me want to put a little more into stacks. But outside of stacks, you know, I just mentioned Shib. I mean, there's still a lot of plays. You know, I've been talking a lot about layer 2s. Oh, AI. I have Fetch AI in here for my AI play. You know, I don't have any optimism. I've been talking a lot about optimism. Layer 2s getting hot, right? They're like the second biggest. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add into stacks, and then I'm going to add into optimism. So let's bust down my calculator here. $50 divided by 0.9404. That's about 53.168. And then, what? Session or UID not found. It's hard to actually buy stacks. Let's see if this goes through. No. Something's wrong with this. Hold on. Let me log in and out real quick. All right. Let's try that again. I think I had logged out. There we go. And then let's add optimism. They have cooled off recently, so that's good. It's a good time to get in while they have cooled off. All right, a little bit there. Okay, $100, $50 each. So this week is stacks and put a little bit into optimism. So we will see next week how they do. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let me scroll up here. See what I've missed. Max says, I worked at Wendy's as a teenager, no go. You know, out of the burgers, I used to think Whoppers were the best tasting burgers from a fast food joint. All kinds of Whoppers, right? But now I've changed my mind. I actually think Wendy's burgers taste better than Whoppers. They're more fresh and they're bigger. The patties are not as dry. So I'm actually a fan of Wendy's over Burger King or McDonald's. Let's see here. I'm in the app industry. I've been saying the same thing for at least 10 years. More Android users than iPhone users globally. Yes, but I think the statistics show that iPhone users spend more money. That's the reason why app makers geared towards iOS. I believe that's the thing. I've seen statistics about that, but still, you can't be ignoring the Android users. Jake, love your show. Have you heard of Tap? Any opinion? Someone asked me about it, but no, I don't have any opinion because I'm not familiar with it enough. What is Tap? Jake, why are you even looking at Tap? What is that? 12 million. Barely any volume. So, I don't know about that right now. But anyways, I don't know about it enough to talk about it. Literally can only afford $50 into crypto every 2 weeks. Whatever. It's different for everyone. Armand, I appreciate that big chat. Let's see. Now I'm catching up. In your opinion, what is the chance that ETH and MATIC decouples from Bitcoin prices due to upgrades this month, like the last upgrade? 0 to none. ETH and MATIC are not going to be decoupling from Bitcoin anytime soon, my friend. Okay? There may be very short pumps that makes it seem like they are decoupled, but they're nowhere close. Until they get bigger than Bitcoin, they will never decouple from Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader of the market. If Bitcoin does well, everything does well. If Bitcoin does not so well, everything does not so well. Right? So, no. Real Staga Roach, a friendly hello. George from the Casma community. Well, hello. Still bullish on rally, 80x from all-time high. Of what? Bitcoin's not 80x from all-time high. I don't know. Man, a lot of super chats tonight. A lot of you guys are big fans of Wendy's or Shib or Robinhood. Wendy's are good only if you eat it once every 2 months. I don't know about that. You know, when I was doing my carnivore diet, I just order burgers without the buns, and I just eat it like that. And it was okay. And I still do it periodically. Markets will be undecided until FOMC. Unfortunately, that may be true. That may be true, Lazaro. Cash App, welcoming crypto is a game changer. Block stock will skyrocket. Simple new interface will onboard massive. Well, that's the thing. You know, Cash App, Block, Jack Dorsey really trying to push Bitcoin innovation forward, right? And that's awesome. That's awesome. So it's not just them either. Others are copying. So we're at the forefront. You know, things are just being developed right now, right? As far as we come, we're still so far away from where we want to be in the future. So we're still kind of building right now, right? Lightning Network is still being still young, growing, but still very young. Not a whole lot of liquidity, but starting to be built into some apps, you know. Yeah, still very early. Noah, do you play any WoW Classic? I don't even know the difference between WoW Classic and regular WoW. That's the thing. I actually introduced WoW World of Warcraft to my 2 young kids recently because they play this Roblox game that's basically a copy of World of Warcraft. I think they call it Bedrock or whatever it is. So I introduced them to WoW, and they both seem to enjoy it for a little bit. But I don't know. Like when I was downloading, it said Classic and then whatever regular. I don't know the difference. They look the same to me. And will I play Diablo 4? No. No. I don't have time for games, quite honestly. When I am not focused on crypto, right, I have to focus my card channel. And I have to go review cards for that. So I literally, like I'm just in this grind every single day with not a whole lot of time on my hands to do anything. Crypto Hound, good evening from Texas. Good evening. Man, a lot of super chats. Sam, this is the way. I did not watch Mandalorian Season 3 yet. I've been trying to finish up Blacklist, which is taking forever, but it's still interesting to me. But, you know, the shows I want to watch is Mandalorian and also Picard Season 3. Although Season 2 was pretty bad. And Season 3 is, you know, they're just bringing all the old cast back. Hopefully it's good. There was another show coming back. I forgot what show. But finally some shows are coming back. Rock the Casbah. Hey, that's a pretty clever name. Found you today. Great channel. Getting back into it. Well, welcome. Welcome. This is a good time to be getting back into it. Hello from Cali. In-N-Out Burger. I have no In-N-Out Burger here, but I have tried them before when I was in San Diego, and they were pretty good. Pretty good. I would say if you're from the Midwest, Culver's is pretty darn good for fast food. Obviously, if you get something from like Portillo's, you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, Fizzle. I like Wendy's salads. You know, salads cost so much that it makes people not want to buy them because salads cost like $12 or $15 from some restaurant. Some restaurants, you pay more for salads than a big old steak. You know, think about that. Joel, I didn't vote at all for the new mayor. I'm ready to put 5K into Phantom or Sandbox. Only one. Which you think is priced better right now? Phantom, I know, has come up a little bit, but it's still very off from its high. Sandbox hardly moved at all. But if I had to choose, I like Phantom more than Sandbox. But if if you're undecided, just go split it in half. I own a My Pet Hooligan NFT and Goonies NFT. Any hope for floor prices? I don't even know they existed. I'm not a NFT expert. So I don't know. Where do you expect BTC at 2040? Probably like $1 million. I used to love White Castle burgers, no longer. Because I'm not trying to eat, bread or carbs, but that's the whole thing about White Castle burgers. Like the onion and grease soaks into the bun and makes it taste really good, but if you're trying to avoid carbs, you probably don't want to have a lot of White Castle. Ruby Tuesday, I agree with you, Stymie. I used to go to Ruby Tuesday all the time to just have their salad bar. And of course, they had to close down. And rarely do you see Ruby Tuesdays anywhere. There used to be a place called Sweet Potato, which is also just a buffet for salad. They closed down. I think they still exist in like California. They're called like, I think Sweet Plantations or something like that. I don't know what they're called, but all these salad places are closed down. It's really hard to get a salad. I mean, Portillo's all the way. You can't go wrong with Portillo's. You can't. Yeah, Soup Plantations closed down too. Yeah, they can't. I guess they just can't survive selling salad. I guess salad prices are just too expensive. Do you think ALA has potential? I mean, they're in the AI space, Charizard, right? AI, honestly, they all pumped up a little bit too quick because ChatGPT. Now they have all come back down, right? Last time I looked at AI, I forgot what they're called. It's some weird name. Artificial liquid intelligence. They looked okay, but haven't done a deep dive into them right now. I participated in my first IDO last night. AI pad, I'm very skeptical. If you're very unsure about it, why did you invest? You should not be asking me after the fact saying, yeah, I invested, but I'm not so sure. You should have done your homework, man. It should not be like that. You should be very confident in the project, even though they may not end up making it, but you have to be confident in what you invest in. Do you think it's fair to pay 1% to cash out on exchanges? Seems ridiculous to pay $10,000 to cash out $1 million. If you look at it that way, yeah, it seems like a lot, but 1%, if you compare that to the fees of like other things that exist, you try to send $1 million through Western Union, see how much they ask you to pay, right? It's like, yeah. I mean, it is a lot over time, especially if you do a lot of cash outs. But then again, just don't do a lot of cash outs. And not every exchange charges the same amount to withdraw. Coinbase, I think, has a higher. Coinbase and Gemini have a higher withdrawal percentage, but I think like Binance.us is lower. I don't actually look at it because I think it's just insignificant. I don't cash out a lot, so. I'll keep this up. Cal, great show. DCA is the way. It is. Why did you pick Optimism over Polygon? I thought MATIC was your favorite. Yeah, but did you see my portfolio? It was like very, very heavy into Polygon already. That's the reason why. John already did DCA. This week, Stacks and Optimism. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Optimism, man. I don't have it in a portfolio, so I thought it would be a good time to add it. But I have a lot of other L1, L2s in the portfolio already. Young 3 Vidi. It doesn't matter how many tokens I have in that portfolio. That's irrelevant. Don't copy trade me. I'm only doing it to prove a point, but I'm not doing it for you to copy trade me. So you decide how many you should have in your portfolio. There's no right or wrong answer. I need a burger right now. You know what? I had Shake Shack one time in my life in Washington, D.C. Can't say it was memorable, but I've been seeing them pop up everywhere and I have not tried them since. So I've been meaning to try them again. Jacob, appreciate it. Fuddruckers, man, I miss that place so much. They also closed down. I used to go to Fuddruckers before, get their burgers. You put on all the toppings, and again, they couldn't make it because they couldn't stay relevant. Like Five Guys of the world, and everyone came in. Smash Brothers, M Burgers, all these places just kind of took over. Fuddruckers was really good. They just couldn't adapt. Kind of shows you how important it is to adapt and innovate, you know. I can't have a burger at Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, you don't go to a chicken wing store or a wing store or wing restaurant, I should say, and buy a burger there. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, you know. That's like going to, like, I don't know. That's like going to a sushi place and asking for a burger. You know, it's like you don't go there for that. Thoughts on Kronos? You know, give them time. I think they'll come back. You know, they're struggling a little bit because Crypto.com is struggling a little bit, but you know, give them time. They're still building out. The Shake Shack CFO is the hottest chick alive. True story. That makes me want to look her up. In Mexico, there are plenty of places that sell sushi with hamburgers. I guess it's just cultural. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Then you're just talking about a buffet. Okay? And I'm sure they serve it, but do you really want to get it there? You know? It's like, I don't know. It's like getting a burger from Taco Bell. Once upon a time, they had burgers, right? And it's like, no, once upon a time, Burger King had tacos. Like, that's not where you go for tacos. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Overall today, big news. Big news. Robinhood wallet. Okay. Shib getting adopted at Wendy's and 600 other restaurants in Georgia. And Bitcoin is being accumulated at an alarming rate, even faster than 2018 bear market. Absolutely huge. All three news, right? But we'll see what develops tomorrow. Maybe even bigger. Tune in tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.